the Prison City Podcast. When the bars go up, you're officially locked in.
Welcome to the Prison City Podcast. I am your unofficial host, Patrick W. Cutler, and we got a banging show for here today. We're going to talk NFTs. NFTs are really, really popular right now, and we got some news on NFT of our own going on, and branch out from NFTs, compare it to collectibles, baseball cards, things of that nature, and kind of talk about what is going on with NFTs, what does the future look like, and all those great things. It's been a great run here on the Prison City Podcast. And last week we talked pyramids. That was a lot of fun, and we had a funny story about that. Is if you watched the show, we started out talking baseball cards. Well, here's a story. Earlier in the day, I wanted to pick a topic that Mahomes was familiar with a little bit, and he'd be like gung ho to do it a little bit. So we talked about baseball cards, and that we're gonna do a prank where Mike Free shows up out of nowhere. Little did I know that Mahomes was really, really passionate about baseball cards, and basically got up once he got that message, quit his job on the spot, and went directly home to prepare for the podcast. So this week we are going back to some of the baseball card stuff, Mahomes. So welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thanks, man. I will say I didn't quit my job. It's just kind of one of those hobbies that I've been interested in. But my prank to you is once we get to the baseball card section, I'm going to talk about something completely different because I've said my piece on baseball cards.
And Kelly, weigh in on that.
I don't have much. Nice opening. Pat had told me that, about an hour before the podcast. He goes, hey, we're going to act like we're going to talk about baseball cards, and then we're going to go into the fucking pyramids. And I was like, okay, not a big deal, because like, how long can we talk about baseball cards for? But then learning that you'd actually prepared, man, I was really feeling kind of guilty at the end of that thing. So I apologize from me to you. And I'm actually excited to talk about the moon landing. I mean, baseball cards tonight.
Well, I'm not gonna. So good luck to you guys.
And Matt, what do you think about all that?
Mahoney, I think you have a lot more about baseball cards. I know you do. Like, you can't say that's it, because I think you had like another hour at least prepared. So let's dive into that until Mike Freeze interrupts this podcast again. I can't wait. Let's talk about some NFTs. I got some NFGs, NFRs, IPO, IPAs, everything. CAO, Men in Black. Let's dive right into this fucking shit.
But before we get into the NFT stuff, I have a quick announcement here. I want to get across here. There's going to be a spaghetti feed here at the Elks on February 4th at 6 p.m. All you can eat spaghetti, $10 a plate, or $25 for a family. Are you going to attend that?
Hey, Pat, re-look at that poster. Did you see who's sponsoring their donation board?
No, let me look at that.
Look down a few lines.
Oh, square board for Cutler Brothers season passes.
Hey, we're everywhere, motherfucker, even at the spaghetti feeds.
So they're going to have a board where they're going to auction, or how's that work? They just draw numbers, or like I
don't know how it works, but they asked us for 2 season passes. And as we all know, we have never, ever declined a donation in our entire history. So anybody that says we're greedy or out for ourselves, we've never declined a donation.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So check out that spaghetti feed here. And then another thing I want to go over, I should have done this on the year in review episode, but I totally just said fuck it and didn't even look at this email that they had sent me. So Buzzsprout, we have our audio portion of this podcast is hosted, came out with all these numbers for the year in review for 2021 and showed all our total fucking numbers. I just think it's interesting as hell to look at. Since I didn't cover it then, I'm going to cover it now. So for the year 2021 in review, Prison City Podcast, 41 episodes published, 4,082 minutes of content, which is crazy to think about. Us just jacking off on camera for like an hour each week. And 919 downloads, almost 1,000 downloads. And then you scroll down a little bit. Top episode, Mahomes, is that surprising? By far was the Mike Lindell Cyber Symposium, Donald Trump, Fauci, the Delta variant, and Feldy's sex life online. 187 downloads for that one episode. Top city for watching was Anaconda, Montana. Just really,
Nice.
really fucking weird why they would be the top city, top listening apps, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple ads. In 2021, Prison City Podcast published 68 hours of new content across 41 episodes. That's 4,082 minutes of content, or 244,933 seconds to be precise. God, I thought there was more to it. I swear they had like the amount of listening hours were on there and stuff like that. But that's kind of our stats there for so you do 919 downloads times 4,000 minutes of content. What the fuck is that? That's like almost like a million minutes downloaded, something like that. Let's do the calculator really quick on that.
Man, we should probably do a spaghetti feed to celebrate that.
I was gonna say, Pat, it's almost one download for every 4 minutes of bullshit that we say on this fucking thing.
It's crazy to think that we have 4,082 minutes of content in 2021 of this show.
I know. And when I think of that, I think, what else could I be doing last year with my life?
I know.
It's awesome.
If you
How many homes could I have built, for the needy in that time? Countless.
Okay, calm down, Gerald Ford.
I think too, for our overall stats, if I had to estimate, you count like the Donald Bromley one that went kind of viral with that post. We probably had about 20,000 views or listens to the Prison Podcast over our existence so far. So that's a pretty good number for, I'd say it's our first year, but you realize we started like in March, so it's only like 9 months. So 20,000 views or listens or whatever, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, Pat and I were talking about this earlier in my parents' bathroom as he was taking a dump. We said,
where most business gets done.
We said, you think like what you're doing doesn't matter, or it's like, why are we doing this? We're just running our tires in the mud. But if you think about it, if that was your attitude with everything, comedy nights, Cutler Brothers wouldn't have gone anywhere. The fucking our YouTube channels, we're starting to get more and more views every
spaghetti feeds
month.
Spaghetti feeds.
Spaghetti feeds. I mean, if we stopped at the first one, we'd never have one every couple months.
Prison City Podcast is the same fucking thing. It's like, this is, Mahoney said it last week or 2 weeks ago. He said, this is my like bowling night, to come on here and bullshit with my friends and everything. It's like, so fucking just keep it going. And that's a testament to everyone else. Just keep whatever you're doing going, and people will pay attention eventually.
It's funny when you think of like 20,000 like views. If you put that into context, for most people who are listening probably have a good idea. Like, that's essentially 10 times the size of the city that we are based out of. So when you put it into like that frame of mind, it's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, and I think people on YouTube are bored too. Like, I'm saying not bored watching YouTube, but they're bored enough to sit down and like watch YouTube or whatever that piques their interest. Like, you have people that go to different places and they say, okay, this was filmed here, or this happened here. Like Ted Bundy murdered his whatever. I'm not to get off topic, but I'm saying like people watch that shit. So it's like what we do here is very interesting compared to a lot of the stuff out there that gets tons of views and you don't see how.
Yeah, I also talked to Kelly in my parents' bathroom about this discussion here, and it's like, and we go back to some of our old films we didn't push probably hard enough. It's like, and Mahomes knows this from working in sales. Like, you don't fucking know if people like your shit or not if you only show it to like 5 or 10 people. Like, you don't really know. If you were to push Prison City Podcast out on, it was pushed out to everybody and everybody saw it, you had no clue what the reaction would be. And that's what we are with this Redgate film. It's been pushed out so much with the alien image and everything else. Just that alien image alone that's connected to the film, that's been seen by fucking millions of people at this point. Like millions. Think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I mean, these fucking terms didn't come out of nowhere. It's true. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, especially when you're not just polishing a turd left and right. If you think about Das Brut or any of our fucking movies or Prison City Podcast or whatnot, If it's entertaining to you, then I think that's all that fucking matters, because a lot of people are going to align with you and think that what you think is funny, what you think is entertaining, what you think is, sentimental or whatever you're trying to get at. So I think that's all that matters, is that it boils down to fucking you and what you're like. If you like it, then other people are going to like it, essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
And it's funny that that alien image that we're now like the leaders on alien investigations this past year. Alien.
We are.
So right after that episode aired, I got a deal. I got a guy, a TV producer, contacted right after that initial episode way back when Don was on here, and I sent him Don's email, and he got to contact a show on the Discovery Channel, and that show's going to air in a couple weeks. It's called, what the fuck's it called? The Fright Club. It's called Fright Club. And Don Bromley goes on that show with this alien image that they found by looking us up on YouTube and the Prison City podcast. So we're already connected. Yeah.
I thought it was Pawn Stars, where he's selling that picture of his alien to the guy at the museum there.
Yeah. No, it's crazy to think about all the connections. You never know. One little thing can lead to another thing, to another thing, to another thing. And, a lot of things start here at the Prison City podcast.
Yeah, like Don Bromley.
Like Don Bromley's entire career.
Actually, Don Bromley's his birthday today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It's Don Bromley's birthday, and it's the Cutler mother's birthday. So happy birthday to them both.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So it's a great episode. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Well, you just think like all these things start with the podcast. You just grind your tires where you don't think it's going anywhere, and there's gonna be a lot to connect back. As Redgate continues, and I was in Miami this past week trying to make a lot of deals and things, and just get more notoriety about it and get more momentum going. Shit, I can't fucking talk tonight.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
As things continue to move forward, I do eventually see this podcast as in like a studio or something with perfect lighting, and we have a producer on the side that's running different segments and stuff, and maybe we're all still virtually connected or whatever. But I eventually see us not like doing this from our parents' basement the rest of our lives.
I think that's the goal, man.
I mean, parents' basement. I like the pricing on that. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal. I want to get a building where we can have the Deer Lodge News Network, all this shit we're doing, DOS Fruit, editing, Pat's editing room, Matt's editing room, music room, fucking get it all. And and bring our actual guests into a legitimate studio. I mean, that's not too far off. I'm talking less than 6 months.
I was in Miami thinking about that. And my biggest problem with Deer Lodge is the only issue I see is getting people to like move here and live here would be the most difficult thing. But then I'm thinking, we could do everything virtually, and then they only have to be here when they have to be here for like a film production or something like that. It will never have to be like someone has to like live here around the clock. Talking about goals. So right here behind me, this is my office. I know it's backwards on the camera, whatever. This is a Redgate film goal to be seen by 1 billion people. The Redgate film. That's my fucking goal, Mahomes. What do you think about that?
I mean, if you aim small, you're going to hit small, right? So you may as well aim big. If I'm aiming my gun at the ground and I shoot at the ground, I'm going to hit the ground. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
This conference, they had this thing I've seen that a lot of times. Like they say, shoot massive goals, because if your goal's like way up here and you fall short of it, you'll fall just below, like right there or whatever. But if your goal's like way down here and you fall short of it, you're like way down here. So it's like, why not fall short of a goal that's way the fuck up here? Then, like he said, shoot your gun right into the fucking ground.
Well, Pat hit it on the nose, and I've heard this in other places too. But I woke up, after our quantum jumping episode, and I said, in 2022, I'm gonna make $10 million or more by December. It was on December 15th of last year. I want to make that by this December 15th, 2022. And I said, well, okay, if that doesn't happen, what if half of that happens? 5 million fucking bucks. What if a tenth of that happens? $1 million in a year? I mean, what goal have any of us set in our life where we've only accomplished a tenth of it? You know what I'm saying? So as soon as we talked about that with quantum jumping, what do you say, a lot? I'm just on here to say that that's my goal. That's what I want to happen. And even if you do fall short of $10 million, you're sitting pretty fucking good. But you can do that with any goal. It doesn't have to be money. It can be Redgate or whatever else.
Well,
You can.
Pat, I think we'd be doing a disservice. I hate to like change gears a little bit, but it's not really changing gears. We'd be doing a disservice to our listeners if you didn't tell us a little bit about Miami, since we kind of teased you going there last episode, right?
Yeah, so I went down to Miami, and basically I was down there. It was a business conference, and it was over Christmas break before I had this weird plane experience where I quantum jumped to a new reality. And I just said it was a conference I wanted to go to for 2 years. COVID happened. I got divorced. A lot of things happened that kind of got it in the roadblocks of me doing it. And I'm sitting in Pittsburgh, and this guy's a guy I've read a lot of books on. His name's Grant Cardone. He's a serial entrepreneur. The guy is one of the most legit entrepreneurs out there. His approach to sales is informational. He's upfront about fucking everything, especially the price. He doesn't hide anything. He doesn't do anything shitty. He's just boom, boom. That's why you can build like a lot of trust with the guy or whatever. But he has a bunch of different conferences. This is called the 10X Boot Camp because he has this book called the 10X Rule. It's a really good book for anyone who wants to read it. And basically what the boot camp was about was just jump starting your 2022. So you meet and you just have a 3-day event in this really nice ass resort. And you basically just millionaire after millionaire after millionaire comes up there and talks and gives you ideas and tips. And it's really cool because they give you like this big, thick fucking workbook. So you can take their ideas and write stuff down, and you can start to craft your own plan based on the information they're giving you and stuff. And basically you're in this room with, I was like 1,000 people that were there. It doesn't seem like that, but you're like, I mean, within like 20 feet of like all these people that are talking. So you know how proximity is everything. Proximity to people that are super fucking successful. And this guy's got like $4 billion in real estate holdings. And then there's another guy that he's worth like $100 million, has done all these businesses and stuff. And so I wanted to get down there, get that proximity and get around connections and stuff, people like that, to really kind of figure out what I want to do. And he's all about going big. So he's the guy I got the ideas, like set massive fucking goals in life and write those massive goals down every single day, and then have like a yearly target you go for also. So he's the guy where I got the idea of like, Dan Pena says this, like you'll never achieve more than the goal you set. So if your goal is like way down here, and this is, they said about this about Ted Turner's dad. Ted Turner said this about his dad. He's like, my dad died because he set his goals too low. And once he hit his goals, he had nothing else to live for. And like, that really rang true with me. So I went down there, met with a bunch of different people, showed a bunch of different people the Redgate alien photo. At one point I was offered an opportunity to get on a helicopter and go to this $1 billion house or whatever. And I would have been around him. I would have been had an opportunity to pitch the actual Redgate film in front of him and all these things. And it would have been a cool opportunity. It'd been like a Shark type thing where I was like with 10, 15 other people or whatever. But they wanted me to pay $25,000 for the opportunity. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm not really that desperate yet. So I was kind of like, it'd be cool. I mean, but I later on found out, as the conference went on, found out that it was for a charity event he was doing. So the $25,000 actually goes to charity or whatever. And I don't think it would have been appropriate for me to show up there with like movie and an alien image and just be taking over the show. Like, yeah, you help kids or whatever. But look at this fucking photo.
Cool. Listen.
So I'm still there's a Facebook group. I'm still in that Facebook group. I still meet with those guys like each week or whatever. But
well, I was just gonna say, to throw this out there, I was talking to him. I think I talked to all of you guys about this. Like, anytime someone says a dollar amount, that's a red flag, because you know how much fraud and shit is in entertainment, especially like the movie business. Every Mike Freeze on the street corner thinks they know exactly what it takes to be successful.
Yeah. Well, if you go to a sales conference, and Mahomes has probably been to a sales conference before, if you go to a sales conference, they're going to try to upsell you. They're salesmen. That's what they fucking do.
100%. Yeah.
But they're like constantly in your face. You just had to block it out, because they had salespeople all over, and I had to block it out. A lot of times, towards the end, I just lied to them. I was like, yeah, I signed up for all these things. Oh, yeah? Who? Oh, Kevin? Yeah, Kevin. I met him the other day. I don't even know if there's a Kevin there. But they're trying to upsell you. Like, they say shit like, so he has this 10X growth conference. You can look this up. I mean, this guy's, everything is super, super legit. it's what you get out of it or whatever. But the 10X Growth Conference is in Miami. It's in March, and he has guys like Floyd Mayweather's there, John Travolta. He has like massive special guests at this thing. And that thing's like, I was like $1,500 a ticket or something like that. And you don't get to talk to those guys necessarily, but you're in the same room with them essentially. And he has that, and they tried to sell me on that over and over. But they would say stuff like, I told them like, what are you? I'm a filmmaker and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, there's gonna be celebrities here. It's like, do you think I could film? Do you think I could sell my film at this 10X growth conference in Miami? Dude, I guarantee you can sell your movie there. Guarantee it. So it's like, okay, you're full of fucking shit.
You should have been like, hey, listen, so if that's a guarantee, then I can get my money back if I don't sell it there, right? If you're going to guarantee me that.
I said, so he was pushing hard. So every time he pushed me hard, I pushed back like, okay, how about this? I'll sign on to do this conference thing here in like a month or whatever. If you can give me this entire ballroom tonight to screen my movie, how's that sound? At that point blank too.
Hey, Pat, not to take a commercial break. Give me 2 seconds because I'm on my fantasy league here. I'm in a playoff fantasy football league. I just want to tell you guys where we're at so you can give me some advice here. So I just got Cooper Kupp and I got Elijah Mitchell. That's on top of Joe Mixon. So we're still sitting on a quarterback or a defense. That's who we need left.
Well, what's your quarterback situation?
All three of them are available still.
No way.
He might take one to be a dick because he's got Mahomes. You can only start one. If you're watching this, nasty Nate, you dick. But yeah, they're all three available right now.
Well, Jimmy G didn't do shit last week, and I don't think he's going to do shit this week. Okay. So cross him off your list.
Who's your best defense, you guys think? Besides Cincinnati, because that's who he took.
I'd say probably Rams or Chiefs.
Best defense? He took Cincinnati's defense?
That's what he's got right now. He might take another one, but
I would rob one of those defenses right now then, because if he has Cincinnati's defense, he's going to be fucked with whoever you don't take. So we got Rams and Chiefs defenses left.
And the Niners.
I wouldn't take San Francisco. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. I personally would go Rams.
Rams are going to get you some sacks. They'll probably cause a fumble, turnovers. Yeah, I do Rams too.
Chiefs, you never know what the Chiefs can stop everybody, or they can do what they did against Buffalo and give up 5 TDs in like 2 minutes.
All right. I'll check back in with you guys. Sorry, Pat, back to your Miami story.
Okay. So you go into the conference and they have salespeople up front, but everybody's cool for the most part. Like everyone at the conference is cool. And again, you're it's not, when you pay a decent amount of money to go to a conference, it guarantees you're not going to be around like a bunch of fucking douchebags, if that makes sense.
Nice.
It does though. Like some of these conferences are like, they're free or whatever, and then you get some guy, I'm down to my last penny as I work at Ace Hardware, and I'm just kidding. That's bad. No, but it was cool. It was cool hanging out down in Miami with everybody. The vibe was really cool. I came with a lot of information, a lot of things, and I just think the more risk you take toward doing something, the more you're going to be rewarded, no matter what. That's just how the world works. So I felt it was very much worth my time to go down there and hang out. And there's already been a lot of things happening so far, and there's going to be a big fucking surprise coming up here in a couple of days. That I think Mahomes, when you see this, you're gonna laugh your fucking ass off. But it's a marketing technique, and it's gonna be fucking good, right, Kelly?
So
can't reveal it. We'll be talking about it on this podcast next week. I guarantee it.
It's gonna be hilarious. I'll just say that.
Okay, sign me up. That's the kind of teaser. Like on Friday, couple days. It's Friday, Saturday. Where am I?
It's gonna be. I'll post it on Friday or Saturday, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I came with this idea this morning out of nowhere. I was like, this could be cool.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, Mahoney. It's hilarious, but it's also a really fucking good marketing ploy. So, when it actually happens, I should say that, because it's going to happen at some point. with someone, you will shit your pants.
Oh, well, I'm very excited to see what that's all about.
It'll make the Pat and Jay sex competition pale in comparison.
That is, I mean, that's ridiculous. So I don't know.
10x, set that bar high, right? Set your goals high. If that's the bar, then okay.
That's the bar. That's the bar. Yeah.
Are you starting an OnlyFans or something?
We're gonna start with OnlyFans for the alien Esteban. You can have sex with us.
Oh, is it you and Feldy had sex with each other? Is that the big surprise? Spoiler alert. Sorry, Feldy.
It's going to be huge. So as we're kind of branching off here into NFTs, fun to get on topic here for the first 30 minutes we're off. But so the Redgate NFT, let me pull up this fucking image really quick for everyone to see. The Redgate NFT is the original trail cam alien shot by Don Brumley's trail cams going viral here. And let me pull it up here. So what happened was, as I got this, I worked really hard to get this story to go viral in the Sun, and it went viral all over the country. And basically what happened was Don Bromley got an offer from a guy that does NFTs, and he decided to make an NFT of this exact trail cam image, which is NFT is the original version of an art piece or whatever. And he started kicking it out. And the initial offer from a billionaire to buy this NFT of this alien photo was $400,000 was the opening offer for it. And now, and we both told him not to do it because we're in the process of a lot of things that I don't know if I can announce it or not, but we're going to basically have a TV show here in a little while for this. And a lot of things are happening with this thing. But basically that initial offer, $400,000 is now up to $600,000.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy, man. That's a big chunk of change.
Yeah, that's a ton of money. So if that's sold, are you no longer allowed to use that image in any sort of movie show?
And that's the whole thing that's great about it is it's just the NFT. He's paying for the original NFT. So he's basically paying for the Honus Wagner baseball card. That's it.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So he could have the original for whatever, $600,000, which is a life-changing amount of money. Yeah. And then you still get to use it. There's no.
I was going to say, so this NFT, this original NFT, you say it's a digital image, and it's what kind of image is it? JPEG,
Well,
what kind of...
Well, young Matthew, let's get into the NFT part of this episode. I'm going to pull this up right now because
I knew we'd do the roundabout answer there.
Well, young Matthew.
I'm going to go right into explain what the fucking NFT was. I had to even look it up. It's a digital image. It's an original digital image. This is basically coded almost like Bitcoin. So let's go down here. So what does the word NFT stand for or mean? It means non-fungible token. Basically, it's unique and it cannot be replaced with something else. Like Bitcoin, fiat money, like $5 bills, stuff. You can trade one for another, and you have the exact same thing. It's kind of like a one-of-a-kind trading card, is what an NFT is. And most NFTs are part of the Ethereum. I'm not sure if that's Ethereum blockchain, which is cryptocurrency like Dogecoin or Bitcoin. So it's part of that. A lot of them are that. So you store extra information that makes it different from, say, another coin or whatever. So it's information digitally stored within that NFT to make it an original. How big are NFTs? There's somewhere in this article it states it, but I'll just say it. There's a company, Coinbase. Kelly knows Coinbase. Get this, Kelly. Coinbase is so big in NFTs right now that they are thinking about just dropping Bitcoin altogether and just going on NFTs. It'll take over their business. That's how big NFTs are. It's fucking insane. And this is a cool thing too about NFTs. NFTs can be anything digital. So it be drawings, music, your brain downloaded into an AI. And this is where I got this idea tonight. Is like, and I've had this for a while. Maybe turn the Redgate film into an NFT like the whole film's a fucking NFT online, could be something really cool, a cool way to sell it. So it's again like it's an art collection. People collect these like art collecting. So there's a 50-second video that someone made by Grimes. Paid 6.6 million for a video by this guy named Beeple. So Beeple is this guy that makes a bunch of NFT art, videos, all kinds. He's been doing this for a long time, so he's not exactly new to the market. Let me go through here. So here, let's go down to this section right here. So what's the point of NFTs? It depends if you're an artist or whatever. It gives you a way, if you're an artist, it gives you a way to sell your work that otherwise not be much of a market for. So if you have a film that no one wants to sign or something like that, so we could turn like all of our shit into NFTs. So if Redgate made it big or whatever, and it's gonna, we could go back and turn like our old films, like Going Nowhere could be turned into an entire NFT, and someone could buy that original film. Like, oh, these are the guys that are on that Alien show or whatever.
Wow.
If you're a buyer, for me, I'm not even gonna read this. Say it. Basically, from my perspective, if you're a buyer, and I'm looking at this from like a billionaire perspective, buying art is a way of buying an asset, because what's an asset builds over time. So you buy something of art quality, or whatever. So buying an NFT is like buying a piece of art. So it's gonna get value over time.
So how would that work then if Bromley sold that NFT to this guy? So would he just say, here's the original file? For for
so
dummies.
he had some guy make it an NFT. Like, so he had a guy that sells an NFT. He made that alien image into an NFT.
Oh, okay.
So this where I talk about usage rights. So you buy you have basic usage rights, like being able to post the image online or set as your profile picture. It's like the same thing though, like, if the LA Lakers, they own the rights to that image or whatever, but like no one can stop them from, like, no one can stop like me from using it as a my own image or something like that. But basically it's just you have the rights to that original NFT. So it's a lot different owning that original piece of art or whatever. So anyways, that's kind of the overview of NFTs. Now let's look at some of the most expensive NFTs ever sold. This is going to blow your mind. These are the most expensive NFTs ever sold. For some reason, this GIF or whatever the hell the old school GIF, where it's like an image that's color graded or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Like 8-bit?
Yeah, a pixelated. That's the word. It's like CryptoPunk sold for $5.59 million. It's just an ape with a knitted hat and gold chain.
Is it like, are they like, is it someone famous who created this, or is this just like some random person like did this and is now a multimillionaire?
It's some random person did this, is now a multimillionaire.
So what's the fucking appeal there? Come on,
I
now.
think I
Let's be
might try and
serious.
create an NFT tonight before I go to bed. I mean, may as well shoot your shot.
I'd say, let's be honest here. Is there a market for this shit like that?
You shit in the toilet, turn into an NFT GIF, and you got $1 million.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
So, so I don't know what CryptoPunk is or what that's. I didn't do enough research. CryptoPunk's on the market though. This is one of the rarest, I guess, on the market. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but yeah, that sold for 5.59. Here's Beeple's Oceanfront. This guy's the big time crypto or the big time artist that sells these. $6 million for this photo of like a beachfront. That's an NFT. That one's
That's
actually
gorgeous.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. Kind of not quite like that, but yeah, this is really cool. Now wait till you see what beats that photo. X copies, A coin, Ferryman. This is a Ferryman video or something. This is a short video. It's just a GIF, and that's all it is. Like, that's it right there. That sold for 6.6 million.
I mean, like I might try and create one. And I'll only make one, and it'll be like super rare.
So People's Crossroads, 6.6 million. It's just people crossing in front of this dead body with tattoos on it.
How much did that go for?
6.6 million.
Oh my god.
Here's a CryptoPunk. I don't know what these CryptoPunks are. This CryptoPunk went for 7.6 million. Just the guy with the.
When you buy that shit, then it's like, what do you do with it after that? Oh, I guess I'm going to answer my own question. You said it builds over time. It was like, that's a weird thing to spend that much money on.
His example of it, it's like getting that, like rookie card, right? Like that Michael Jordan rookie card that you hold on to and hoping that crypto punk headband turns into.
I was just saying, look at this shit. Michael Jordan rookie card, and that shit's worth more than it now. Jesus.
CryptoPunk. Yeah, the next CryptoPunk, 7.67 million. This is another crypto. I don't get the CryptoPunk. Another one's crypto. This CryptoPunk is 11.75 million. He's just wearing a mask. He's wearing
think of how rich CryptoPunk is by just doing like 8-bit characters. Like, good on CryptoPunk.
Well, and to go back to Matt's question, look at Don, with his picture. He was offered $500,000. That's the starting fucking bid. You have to think where's this bid going to end? Probably not for, you'd think that's a starting bid. It's not going to end for a couple of years, if not several years. That thing might be worth fucking $100 million one day. I'm not even joking.
Mahoney, you go to your office tomorrow when you're working down in Nebraska, wherever you're at. Yeah. And then
Omaha.
You're gonna be working your ass off. You're gonna remember like this shit. Someone got rich off of that.
Like, I'm gonna, over a lunch break one time, I'm gonna create I might create a couple, and then the one that I think is like most random, I'll say it's a one of one. I'm never doing another one, and just see if I can pump up the market. Even if I make $1,000, that's $1,000 for doing some like word art.
Hey, you gotta think about that. When you're working your ass off at your desk, Mahomes, tomorrow, think someone opened Word Paint and for 15 minutes threw a few things up, and now he's a millionaire.
Good on them. I don't hate anyone with a good hustle, and like multi-millionaire. If you add all those up, like that's like $100 million almost, like $50 million.
Hey, probably sitting on his couch covered in Cheetos. Just sold for $6 million.
Can you imagine trying to explain that to your like accountant at tax time? Okay, and so what do you do for a living? Well, funny you should ask. You ever heard of Microsoft Paint? Well.
It's funny you say that, because like eventually we're all gonna have to sit down with accountant, me, Kelly, whoever, and my accountant's. So what exactly? How'd you make all this money that in your bank? Well, I hunt aliens for a living. Like things, it's fucking crazy though. Things that you would not even fucking imagine are worth millions of dollars now, that you would never imagine someone could make a living off of doing. You're like, what?
Like Don said that he brought it up on a podcast, and I did too a couple weeks ago. The Island Boys, man, like you don't even got to be fucking like talented. You just got to be like weird or unique or something. I don't know what the word is. You don't even got to be fucking talented. Just put on a Groucho Marx mask and just fuck my sister on my birthday.
That's what I say, because you motherfuckers are not alien hunters. You're just
don't say that, god damn it.
You're just like, hey, in this TV series, you're alien hunters. Okay, cool. We'll act the part. Kind of what we do.
Can we turn what Kelly just said into a GIF and then make that an NFT, please?
Let's mark this. We're 30 minutes into the show, 40 minutes in the show. I'll go back and use that as a preview for tomorrow.
The Groucho Marx. Hey, I appreciate that you appreciated that, but hey,
that one tickled my funny bone.
to take a quick break, commercial break. This is my fantasy lineup for this weekend. This is the fantasy league I've been in for 10 years. I've never made the championship. I'm finally there, so I'm in the money. And my team is very heavy on the Rams game. Here's my team, and you guys can talk about it if you want. If not, whatever. But my quarterback, Matt Stafford, and then I got Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham.
Oh, yeah.
Running back,
Jesus
Joe Mixon. Flex, Elijah Mitchell. Tight end, George Kittle. Kicker, Matt Gay. Defense, LA Rams. So I guess I'm the LA Rams.
Who's
Yeah, you're the
Holy
LA Rams. You don't have. Oh, you have Joe Mixon. I was going to say you don't have a single AFC person.
who do you got on? Who's the other guy got?
That's a good question. The other guy has Pat Mahomes, Debo Samuel,
Oh shit.
Tyreek Hill,
Oh shit.
Cam Akers, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, Evan McPherson, and the Cincinnati D.
Fuck, that guy's loaded. Except that Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Beat.
It's it's going to go down to matchups, I guess. If it's a defensive struggle in that Rams game, I think you're fucked, man.
Yeah.
How's he have Pat Mahomes in the Cincinnati D? He has no other defense?
No, he has the San Fran D as well, so you might put him in.
Oh, he's fucked on defense then. How fucked is he on defense?
Right before me, and you guys might have called me dumb, but I wanted to take Joe Burrow because I don't think he's going to fold. Maybe he does. But looking at the Rams last game, Joe Burrow could easily put up 30 fucking points. So I was going to take him, and then he took him just to be an asshole because he's already got Mahomes, and he took the San Fran D.
Let's be honest. Even Roethlisberger in the first round threw a couple touchdown passes, scored 21 points on the Kansas City D when they're getting blown out. So, I mean, yeah. So I agree. Like, whatever happens in that KC game, I don't think they're going to hold that Cincinnati offense down. I just think KC's just a far superior team than Cincinnati.
Well, and it's funny that I'm doing this draft because I feel like it fits into the theme of this episode of the Prison State podcast pretty good. But Mahoney, I got to ask you. You know, you've seen the movie Moneyball, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's, I think, how I got to this point. I was like, because people were laughing at me. They're like, really? You're taking like the Pittsburgh D, Pat? The Pittsburgh D actually scored me some points week 1 in the playoffs. And they look at me cockeyed like, you're taking who? I don't really give a shit what their like season stats are. You're just trying to get points out of them. It's literally a Moneyball situation. And Jesse Schwartz, who I played last week, he had the Titans D. And the Titans D had 9 sacks, and it was fucking insane, right? Well, then I had the who the fuck's D did I have? The Niners D?
You had the Packers, didn't you?
The Packers D. The Packers D. And within the first half, they had made up over half those points. So, yeah, I'm just playing a Moneyball game.
So
I don't like the Rams players, like that many of them, but whatever.
So, Mark, his fantasy team is actually an NFT. It doesn't exist.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. You want to buy it? This is all a pyramid scheme.
No, I don't. I'd like to be a partner in it, though, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I got Matt Gay.
The guy that came up short on a 47-yard field goal last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to buy it? 3.7 million. You can win $600.
Sounds like a pretty good investment.
Anyway, so that's that.
Hey, so what is the payout for that? If you win it,
$600.
600?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. So hey, let's look at some more NFTs. So we're gonna go to the big money one. So here's Beeple's Human 1, $28 million. But look at this video though. It's actually kind of a cool video. Is it worth $28 million? Well, probably not, but look at this video. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a creative little video here.
Wow.
Really kind of weird, creative. So I mean, this guy at least this guy's been in the game again since like 2005. Yeah. So this guy's a legit guy on the like cyberpunk or crypto punk, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Let's get down to the bigger one. So Beeple, this is his first 5,000 days. He has every single image he ever did and combined into one huge art piece. $69 million for this image right here.
I mean, yeah, this Beeple guy is like crazy. Like, could buy a minor league baseball team rich because of this.
Can you imagine, Mahomes, if you took every little shitty art piece you made since kindergarten and put it into a big thing like this and sold it?
I mean, I got all my daughter's art from school. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, NFT that. Yeah.
NFT that and just like see if I, put half of it down in Vegas and then that's her college fund.
So there you go. And PAX the merge. This image sold for $91.8 million, the highest NFT ever sold. It's image of a bright white ball in the corner and a smaller white ball in the middle.
Now that's pretty cool. Now, you know, because it's merging, you see.
Is it $91 million cool though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this took
What would you rather have? That or $91 million? Think about it.
said 30,000 collectors pitched together for a total cost of $91.8 million. So this is the only NFT that has multiple owners on the top 10 for NFTs.
Jeez, that's fucking crazy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's like that looks like something from outer space, or like, you know, like the moon or something going over the earth. Mike Freeze, where you at? Come on, bro.
Like, this sounds like I'm gonna create an NFT. I'm not joking. I'm gonna do it within the month, and I'm gonna figure out how to post it, and then I'll tell you guys what sort of bids I'm getting out there.
So are you gonna put on the alien costume like Don Bromley did?
No, that one's already been done. I'll put on the Bigfoot costume that Mike Freeze wore. And...
He's like, look at that huge dong swinging between his legs. He just wants to comment on how big his dick is.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't know if this is on the topic of NFTs, but there's a new game that's like a cryptocurrency. I guess it's not a game because there's real money involved, where it's like the Metaverse, Pat, where you can go in and buy property, virtual property all around the globe. And there's only like 100,000 users right now or something. But I almost went on there and just to see what it's all about, because man, if you can buy the fucking Deer Lodge courthouse for $100, why not? So I mean, that's interesting shit. Like
virtual property, yes, picking up. I've seen a lot of that on that. People are.
Do you only own it in that app or in that game, or I mean, how the fuck does that even work? It's virtual.
Pretty much. It's just within the game or whatever.
Well, I mean, the one I saw, so maybe I shouldn't have dropped $3,000 on it.
No, that's the entire definition, dude. It's like just within the game or whatever. And that's all the information you need.
But it's like an NFT, though. It really is. You go on there and buy the fucking Space Needle. You own it. Like,
well, here's the thing: you do, because everything that's done in the physical world would need to be duplicated in the Metaverse, so it all would sell the exact same way almost.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Can you imagine there's kids that are buying virtual houses right now, these games and shit they play, you know, and once they buy that house, they own that house in that game. That's like their fucking house.
That was so fucking strange.
Yeah, no, it's fucking really, really strange.
So yeah, I mean, like one day you buy again the Space Needle or the Deer Lodge courthouse, if those are for sale, and then one day in 5 years you turn around and sell those for a profit. I mean, it's fucking weird to think about. But you know, not a lot of people are doing it yet, so that's why I'm like, man, maybe this is the new fucking Bitcoin. Maybe we should go buy some property in the Metaverse.
Oh yeah, I
mean, if it actually gets as big as it is, like there could be people like, you know, the real estate moguls out there that are our age right now that are just like, yeah, I just bought up like 1,000 acres of virtual reality and now people are building skyscrapers on it, you know, like.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's very crazy to think about, and that rabbit hole like goes way too far than I want to think about, you know, because if that's the way the world's coming, that's fucking.
So yeah, talk about the crazy. Metaverse. Kelly, you got an Oculus Quest headset over Christmas break. From my personal experience, I can only do probably a maximum of like 30 straight minutes on there, and then I'm just like fucking, I can't do it anymore. How have you been, your experience on there so far?
Honestly, I've used it, I think, one time since we got it for Christmas. I just put it on and went on like a roller coaster ride where I was shooting dinosaurs and shit. And then, yeah, it was like maybe 10 minutes. But outside of that, I haven't really been that interested because it kind of gives me a fucking headache. And I don't know. I haven't used it much. So that's my experience with it.
I won't say it necessarily gives me a headache, but I would say after like playing, so it's not Call of Duty, it's Medal of Honor. Like you want to get that game's badass on there, Medal of Honor, by the way. But like it teaches you, like I know shit about shooting guns, but I've learned how to shoot all kinds of different guns in that fucking game. Again, it's Medal of Honor, so it's guns from World War II. So I'm not like gonna go grab these guns and go shoot down a school or something out of nowhere. But
Jeez.
Thanks for clearing that up.
And that leads us into the Sandy Hook conspiracy. Mahoney, that's what we're talking about tonight.
Have a great night, everyone. It's been fun.
What's that show with Matthew Broderick? It's called War Games, where they're playing a video game and they think it's just a video game, but they're actually conducting warfare against different people. That's what this metaverse stuff kind of reminds me of when it comes to these physical combat type games, because you're not just like hitting some A and B and X and Y or whatever. You're like physically like putting this gun together, cocking it back, learning how to shoot it, and then pulling the trigger and shooting it and killing a fake virtual human being or whatever. But I mean, Medal of Honor is pretty innocent because obviously, again, they're using guns that you wouldn't use in the real world. But like, what happens when they start using some of these guns in the real world and they start showing you how to shoot real guns? Because it's going to happen no matter what. You could train people on how to use guns, and they can be very, very fucking good at it. There's this thing. They've done these science experiments all the time where like they have a group of people try to learn how to play the piano. They just try to learn how to play piano for 30 minutes each day, and then they have a group of people who, in their minds, think about playing the piano, imagine themselves playing the piano every single day. The performance, the people that actually practice playing the piano, and people just thought about it, it's almost exactly the same. Like there's no difference. It's really fucking weird. Like, and that's why I say, like, in a virtual world, you think, oh, well, it's virtual. How could I take this in the real world? Where if you're learning how to do this virtually, you're gonna be able to do it in the real physical world. And that's where I think things are interesting as fuck.
Well, where do you break that threshold though, where you like, so you're out, in the virtual world shooting up a whatever, blowing people away, then to do that in real life, it's like you kind of have to have that screw loose or something,
I think though, yeah, you have to screw loose, but also I think it's on I told Kelly's wife to get him this game called Climb, because I know he couldn't fucking handle it because I can barely handle it. You're up high in heights trying to climb mountains, and it'd be fine, Kelly, if it was just like you're just climbing up like a mountainside. It'd be creepy, but no, they have you fucking jumping from cliff to cliff, and I'm telling you, it feels real as fuck. It's hard to do if you're afraid of heights like I am and you are. It's like really fucking hard.
Yeah, well, I think that we could very well be in the metaverse right this second. Like, that sounds crazy, but to me, it's not. It's because you put on the Oculus Quest, it's real, like visually and the sounds and everything. Well, what if it goes another step? And what if you can smell? What if you can taste? What if all of a sudden you can feel?
Fuck.
Oh, geez, man.
Oh, man. He must have been making a good point. He must have been making a good point.
Every time he's on a good point, he cuts out.
Yeah. No, I get you.
The government, I swear to God, the fucking government can hear this shit. Because as soon as I have a good point, they cut me out.
Pull the plug.
You've been good on your computer, but I know there's construction shit going on. But like, since you kind of went off your computer, your phone's kind of been up and down a little bit.
I don't know. It seems like I just cut out no matter what I'm on, man.
Yeah, he goes to give a big point. You got the jackhammer right behind you.
The jack.
I seriously think it's like the fucking Truman Show, man. It's crazy. But anyways, if it doesn't cut out, what I was trying to say is the Oculus Quest and whatever future virtual reality could get so intense and so real that just becomes reality. And that literally could be where we're at right this second. And you can laugh at me or whatever, but why couldn't they make something this real when it's only a few steps away right now as it is? A thing that we call virtual reality is only a couple steps away from actual reality.
Yeah, I mean, the graphics aren't perfect. I would compare it to maybe like the PlayStation 1, not that graphics, but I would compare it to where the graphics aren't there yet. But I mean, there's a lot of apps in there that are super realistic. So I'm saying they say 10 years. I say within 10 years, you have a realistic, real virtual reality that is almost as real as night and day compared to actual reality. And what you want to take from it, I don't know, but it's really interesting. And like I said, when we did the Metaverse episodes, like one way to prove that we're in a simulation is to create a simulation below us. That's one way to prove that we are actually in a simulation, like this point of base reality. Like the odds that we are in base reality are like 1 in a billion, said Elon Musk. And it's like, I agree with him, you know, and religion basically states that we're not in base reality, any religion, Catholic Church or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So if virtual reality gets so insane where it's just reality as we know it, then what says that reality as we know it isn't virtual reality, if that makes any sense? Or 80 degrees from virtual reality, maybe there is no reality. Anyways, that's getting a little too deep, but I want to say one thing too about like how our brains are connected through radio waves and all that shit. This is just a small thing, but it was fucking weird because last night we're sitting there watching a movie, some random Lifetime movie that Marissa picked, and something hit me. I was like, oh, that's kind of like the Cable Guy. I didn't say it, but I just thought that's kind of like the Cable Guy. And then in my head, I was like, we should watch the Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. But I never said it out loud. I just thought it in my head. She's never seen the movie. Well, at the end of the Lifetime movie, an hour later, I'm like, well, I'm going to go to bed, so I'm going to find a movie. I said, okay, go ahead, but I'm probably going to fall asleep. So she's scrolling, and all of a sudden she goes, oh, have you ever seen the Cable Guy? How many fucking movies are out there, yet that's the one that she fucking picks? I mean, that's just, you can call it coincidence, but this shit happens all the fucking time.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does big time. And I don't know, I posted this on my Facebook thing the other day, but like just the other night, we're sitting there talking about Pet Sematary over and over and over again. I'm talking about Pet Sematary, the iconic cat from Pet Sematary. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go to my office. I open the door. There's this cat meowing. It looks exactly like the fucking cat off of Pet Sematary. Like, what are the fucking odds of that? Like, what are the odds?
You know what's crazy about that too? It's like on YouTube. I know I Google or YouTube a lot of shit, but the filming locations of Pet Sematary popped up. I watched the whole fucking thing. It was interesting as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it goes back to what you were saying with the old cat and all that bullshit.
Here's one. I don't know if I told everybody this one. I listened to, when I was in Pittsburgh, I listened to a YouTube video about talk about imagine something simple, just to prove law of attraction. Imagine, he's like, he started out with the blue feather. He's like, no, fuck the blue feather. I want you to think about a red basketball. Think about a fucking red basketball. Like, okay. He's like, do it every day for like 30 seconds or something. Matt and Kaya are coming from Chicago to Pittsburgh. They meet me in Pittsburgh, and they went to the Detroit Pistons game a couple nights before they got in Pittsburgh. And Matt and Kaya show up with a red and blue Pistons basketball. Like, oh, fuck, what are the odds of that? Like, what are the fucking odds of that?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And I mean, to kind of tie it back to everything, it sounds like what you should do, Pat, or Kelly, or maybe all of us, is we should invest in some real estate and then make it like a gun range so people can learn how to use the gun safely in the metaverse, and we can make profit from that.
Well, don't you think all this shit is tying together with global pandemic and like having people like too afraid to leave their homes? You know what I'm saying? And the metaverse coming out at about the same time, maybe the aftermath. But I'm saying, like, yeah, people strap yourself in, go into the freaking metaverse, do whatever with a feeding tube. You don't even have to leave your house and not get sick or anything.
What do you think? What do you also think about? I would say Mike Freeze had this idea, and I think Kelly's mentioned it too. Is time becoming faster? Is time condensing faster? Because it feels like one day I woke up and I was in Alaska and everything was fine, and now it's like I wake up and fucking kids online are selling things they created on Paint for $6.5 million.
I looked into that, because once you become a parent too, for any parents out there listening or soon to be parents who are on this show, it's like the concept of time, just, it seems like it's like, you know, my daughter just had a birthday and will be in kindergarten soon. So you can imagine, I'll leave it up to your imagination what birthday she just had. But like, I vividly remember the second my wife told me she was pregnant, and that doesn't feel that long ago. And so I looked into it, and basically how they explain it is when you're a kid, your concept of time is so like, it feels like it takes forever to get to recess. And then it feels like your half hour recess is, like either really long because you're having like, it's cool and it seems like it's the best part of your day, or when you're having fun as a little kid, it goes by. But then, like think of how long it took to get to Christmas when you were like 7 years old. Now think of like how long as an adult, because you process time way different because you just have other shit to do. Like you don't have to worry just about when is Christmas coming or when's the next fun thing. You have to like, I got to get up, I got to go to work, I got to do this. Like you experience time a lot differently the older you get, because to me it seems like it's going super fast. Like at hyper speed ever since my daughter was born, for sure.
It's weird too. I had that same thing with my kids were born too, but even now it feels like it's even. I don't have kids currently being born right now, but it feels like it's fucking faster now than ever. One point I always say about school is, you kind of elaborate on this a little bit. When you're doing something you really love, or enjoy, or you're enjoying your life, it seems to go by really fast. But like someone like me, I fucking hated every second of school. Like I fucking hated school. So for me, like people say high school went by fast. High school seemed to me to be like 40 fucking years for me. Like it seemed like forever. School for me seemed like forever. So it's like I look back at like high school and stuff, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, because since I left high school and I left college, high school and college seemed to be very, very long. But since I got out there and went to Pittsburgh and did all this stuff, time seems to sped way the fuck up, right?
Well, they say that, older folks, 80-year-olds and our grandparents and everything say, man, enjoy life, because before you know it, you are here. And we heard that about being adults, being parents, and having responsibilities. I don't know if you can slow down time. I mean, I feel like you could try to pump the brakes and really enjoy, the visceral everything around you. You really got to soak it all in. But even if you do that, man, like today's my mom's birthday. And I swear to God, we just watched, Matt, am I wrong about this? Didn't we watch The Goodbye Girl on her birthday, or was that Mother's Day maybe?
I don't know. Like I said, it's probably your birthday, I want to say.
I want to say it was her birthday too, but it seems like it was fucking last week, and now it's her birthday again. It's insane. And when we started talking about this, I wanted to say, like, well, the more responsibility you have, the more things you're trying to do in life, the faster time's going to go. But I don't think that's the case, because I've been trying to pump the fucking brakes on that shit, and it doesn't matter. It's like your day's here, and then like even tonight, I'm like, it's fucking 5:30, and you've just sat here jerking off all day.
In the metaverse or the real world?
But yeah, I totally hear what you guys are saying, and now I believe the people that are older. Like one day you'll be in my shoes, and maybe there's a story there. Maybe there's like a book or a movie there, and they probably wrote it, Benjamin Button and all this shit. But you're a fucking kid. In my childhood, just like you guys are saying, and Pat, I agree with high school. The 4 years of high school seem like they were longer than since high school's been over. And our childhood seems like that.
Oh, damn it. There
he's
on a roll again.
He's going to drop the golden nugget right there, folks.
Yep. He was about to tell us why time goes by faster.
And we're going to solve everything.
Well, I got to get back on that computer next week. But anyways, I was just commenting on how your childhood is so fucking, like, it seems like it's 100 years. And then you get into adulthood. And since I've been in adulthood, it seems like, how the fuck am I 36? How the fuck am I 36?
Yeah, I think you want to go back to, I don't know, sometimes talk about your high school years where you're walking around on game day with your jersey on, you know what I'm saying? And kind of experience that again. And you look back on the kids nowadays, you're like, fuck, do you guys know you have something so special there? You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it as much as we did or whatever. But it's just crazy that time in your life where you do something, then next thing you know, you never do it again. And you always think about it.
And it's full days. Like I remember full days as a kid, like waking up and 8 a.m. was so different from 10 a.m. and noon and 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Now it's just like 8 a.m. and then it's 6 o'clock at night.
That was funny, like talking to Mike Freeze a couple of weeks ago. He's like, yeah, it was the fall, and now we're suddenly 2 weeks away from February. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Come on, what the fuck is going on here? Like, things go that fast. It's like, it's crazy. It's just a crazy concept to think about. It even looking back since I've been back here, it seems like it's like, it still feels like let's say about a month and a half, almost 2 months from now, basically about 2 months from now is going to be when I first landed back here during COVID. And it's like, it's been fucking 2 years since that happened. 2 years already. It doesn't feel like it at all. It feels like I just got back. It still feels like I just got back from Alaska. It literally does. Like, it still feels like that.
Pat and I say this all the time, and I think you two will agree, but that's why you need to travel and go on family vacations or just vacations by yourself as much as humanly possible, because I feel like that's when time actually slows down. Yeah. When you're out of your fucking responsible adult whatever, like junior buzzards, man. And I know it seems like it's quick, but still those 3 days of junior buzzards seems like, a long time compared to a week or 2 weeks of work.
Like Miami, I'll say this: Miami seemed like a long time, to tell you the truth. It felt like I was out there for like a couple of weeks. I was only out there for a couple of days.
And Pittsburgh too. We went to the fucking Steelers game on Monday night, right? We were there for less than 15 hours or something, and it seemed like that was a full weekend that we spent together.
Yeah. It's weird.
We had no responsibilities.
Yeah, that when I was in, and again, I agree though.
Besides your pregnant wife.
My what?
I felt like I was out in Pittsburgh for a long time, to tell you the truth. Honestly, it was.
You were out there for a long time.
Yeah, you were just in Pittsburgh for 16 years. It's the Twilight Zone.
You just woke up from a coma.
No. Yeah, and this is the part of the show we're now going to segue to. Mahomes is going to talk about baseball cards. All right, Mahomes, take it away.
So anyway, here's the thing about what we were talking about earlier in our last episode is as you look at the pyramids from different angles, you'll be surprised at what you see.
And let's welcome Mike Freeze on the episode.
Mike Freeze comes in out of nowhere.
He's like, hi, Mahoney. Yeah, welcome.
Perfect, great.
Hey, you can see the pyramids from Pizza Hut, right?
I spent the last 3 days, 10 hours a day prepping on pyramids this time.
It seems like we just got done with our dating episode. Now we're already in episode 50 almost. I want to do another dating episode, to tell you the truth. I think that shit's funny as fuck. Who should we bring on to be bizarre as fuck for a dating episode?
That's a good question.
That's a fantastic question.
Tony Major. Fuck, I wonder if he could get on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tony Major.
Get Tony on here, he'd be fucking awesome, man.
God, does he have a computer in Nevada or where the fuck he lives?
He can
figure it out, man.
I don't think they sell computers there.
No.
Isn't his job like an electrician, like the tech guy of the whole casino? So
yeah, he's super smart. I should ask him though. I'll send a message on Facebook and say, hey, do you want to come on and talk about relationships and women? Because he's funnier than fuck. Like, God, his stories and strategies and things, like, he tells a lot of great strategies, Mahomes, and he follows basically none of them. Because he'll tell a story about like this is exactly how you do with women and stuff like that, and then he'll go off about his current situation. She won't leave me alone. She won't. It's like, okay, you're saying the exact opposite of what you just said we should do. But his story. I love talking to him. His stories and stuff. You get him on a live type event, and it's not like pre-recorded or anything. He's hilarious.
Yes, get Tony on here. He would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. So, are you making an NFT right now? Is that what you're doing, Mahomes?
I am currently, as we do this, I'm looking up the process of loading one in. But
are you?
Yeah.
I 100%. Me of all people, because I just do all this film stuff. I should have like 50 out there already. I know that. But I want to know the process. I want to look it up after the show and see how do you not only make them, but how do you market them to sell them to people and things of that nature? Like, how do you get something of value to sell to somebody. That's what I really want to look up.
Yeah, I mean, it's super interesting. Almost as interesting as what I was saying about cards that last episode. But, I guess we'll never fucking know, huh?
Hey,
I
so
was gonna say, Mahomes, I wanna jump back there because I was actually interested in what you were saying. So if you can remember where you left off 3 weeks ago, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna start down that road only to have the wool pulled over my head again. That's not happening.
Boy.
so look, I'm not saying we're going to do a TV show on aliens. I'm not going to say that at all. But say if we did, would you like to be a special guest on there 1 week, Mahomes?
No, 100%. Yeah, shit. I'd make my way to. I'd make my way on location for that for sure.
Yeah, you could be the horse shit manure alien investigation professional.
Yeah. I'll do whatever you need me to. Like sniff it and then be like, I need to taste it to make sure.
Of the bloody bag alien killer from Enigma.
Hey, how about that? Would you be okay wearing a bloody bag over your head the entire episode?
Yes, for sure.
But it's covered in Tina Seville's period blood.
Well, I mean, everyone's got a price. So what are we talking?
Hey, Mahoney, we might be able to get you a job at Prison Pizza while you're here.
Well, I don't plan on being there very long. So it's not like all right, so I'm in town to film a quick episode. I may as well pick up a week's worth of delivery shifts.
Oh, hey, you can be assistant box folder under Jen.
I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of workload, man.
Talk about a fucking Ponzi scheme. Almost 2 years ago, I just started out as a delivery driver, just part-time for fun. Before I know it, I'm head registered doing full-time work there. Oh, God. It's funny you say the top things I've loved since being back in Deer Lodge. I honestly would rate working at Prison Pizza number one. I had a fuckload of fun doing that. Like, it was a lot of fun. Like imagine us, me, you, Kelly, Matt, just hanging out, doing deliveries, running a pizza restaurant together. How fucking funny that would be.
I mean, it seems like a sitcom waiting to happen, basically. Like,
yeah, it's sad. It's sad that like we had so much fun there, yet you're paying someone $20 a fucking hour, and they can't even stick around for it. You know, it's like I don't get it, Louis Savala.
Oh, God.
Mahoney, I thought we were actually going to jump into your baseball cards. I'm not even joking. Like, I mean, it's too late in the podcast to bring Mike Freeze on.
No, it's too late in the podcast to keep going.
No, come on. It's not even an hour and a half. Bring up a couple baseball cards.
I just don't know if I'm ready to get.
I think the audience is waiting, man.
He's like a pigeon, and we clipped his wings.
You did. You finally gave me something that wasn't like super like X-rated or controversial, and I was finally like in a spot where I was like, all right, I can just be like myself and not worry for a second. And then no.
I got a question for you. It's like, so as a collector, are you looking for more of new exclusive shit, or is it more of like the vintage, like I said, the Michael Jordan rookie card, if you can get your hands on one of them for a good price, or like the stuff that's sought after?
I mean, that whole era, kind of like I was talking about last week, that whole, they call it the junk wax era, outside of like Michael Jordan or like Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, or these, sought after Hall of Fame all-time great people. If there's not an autograph or like a jersey patch, or if it's not numbered, like this is one of something, it's not really worth all that much. So everything these days is, you want something that's limited, basically, much like an NFT, right? You want it to be limited. You want it to have some sort of number on it. And so cards these days, like, they have what are called, just kind of like your normal kind of deck card, which would be just a standard. I'm sure I got one somewhere, but it's just like a card that's either not numbered or it's numbered to like 450, which is a ton, right? So there's it's not that exclusive. And then you have these other ones that are either have like a game worn patch or an on card autograph that are numbered to like 25 or 50. And that's the newer stuff I'm looking for. Or you're looking to kind of gamble on the market a little bit. So, I follow football and basketball and baseball probably more than basketball now these days. But if you can get in on a rookie card before it really blows up, or if you can gamble on a guy like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's just say,
or like Pete Rose.
Hey, didn't a Tom Brady card, and I don't know the dollar amount, and I'm not going to guess right now, but a Tom Brady rookie card probably a couple months ago sold for like a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like, it was not too long ago.
Here's a good example of a guy you gamble on. Let's say a couple years ago, you get an autographed rookie card or like a game used rookie card of Cooper Kupp. And you get that for maybe $5-6 at an auction back then, because everyone's like, oh yeah, Eastern Washington, this kid will be something. And now that you have that and it's a limited quantity and he's a top player in the NFL, that's worth way more. So I think that's what people are looking for in the market. One thing that's actually kind of interesting, and I've only like really dipped my toe into it, but they have what's called break groups. And basically it's essentially gambling. So you sign up either on Instagram or on Facebook, or even they have YouTube breaks. Jaspy Breaks is one that I follow on Instagram. And they put it out there and they'll say it's like $999 and you buy maybe $100 slot, and you can buy as many as you want, right? Like,
yeah. That's what I was saying. I think last episode, someone at the Montana bar approached me when I was wasted like 6 months ago. And they were saying that exact thing. They're like, yeah, you put in $100, but you can get a $5,000 blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, oh yeah, man, I didn't understand what they're saying, but that's exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
He was wasted too, so that's why I couldn't understand him.
So breaks are basically, they'll do either.
I love Nick Bravely.
They have like super high value cards that are called Flawless. Is a big brand. And so Flawless is going to have like the on-card auto, the game use stuff, the super rare rookies. And so you'll do that and you'll do a break for it. And you can get super lucky and get like a Joe Burrow autographed rookie card with a piece of his like game worn Bull jersey, or you can.
How do you know it's game worn? Like, tell us that part again. How do you know? Like,
so it's on card. You can't see it super good because I'm blurred, but it could say right there, it says game worn on it. And then I have this Calvin rookie on card auto it just says player worn. So player worn just means he wore it at like a charity event, not actually game worn. So the game worn stuff is actually worth more than player worn. Or he could have showed up to like a signing and they're like, here, put these 3 jerseys on for a second. And then, so like the player wore it, but it's not worth as much. And the break stuff is interesting because you could sign up for more spaces than there is cards. And then there's a big outfit out of Pittsburgh. I'm blanking. I think it's Steel City Breaks maybe. And you sign up there's 50 slots and they do all sorts of stuff like jerseys and full-size football helmets. And so like Kelly, you would sign up and it would just be Dolphins. You sign up it's a huge like autographed helmet, full size. You put in $50. And if you win, like you get whatever Dolphins player, like if they pull a Dolphins helmet, could be Dan Marino, Greasy, Zonko, whatever, you win. But if they pull any other helmet, if they pull a Matt Stafford helmet on the Lions, you don't win a damn thing. You're out $50. So it's gambling basically.
There's different types of breaks. Aren't there, like the one that Nick Greeley is, aren't there breaks where you win something no matter what? Are there those types of breaks? Or
yeah, they're a little more low end though. Like so you could do a low end break for maybe a couple $100 and then you would win like what I was talking as a base card. So a lot of these come with like 5-6 base cards and then either a game worn or autograph card, something fancier. So if you do that and you only fill up 5 or 6 spots, everyone's getting something, but you might win like a base card of Juju Smith-Schuster that's one of 650, and it's not worth shit.
Well, Mahoney, that's what I was gonna bring up. Is like I was talking about the rookie card from Tom Brady. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, 3.1 million.
Yeah, for a rookie card of Tom Brady, which we don't think is that long ago when he came into the league. You know, not to us, but Jesus Christ, that's a big chunk of change.
Well, he's the greatest goddamn quarterback of all time.
So I think the breaks are interesting. One thing I did want to touch on before I lost the thought is you keep hearing me say on card autograph, and you're like, well, obviously it's on the card, but there's a lot of cards that have autographs on them. They're like a sticker that the player just signs, like a book of stickers, and then the card company puts them on, and they're less valuable than if the player was actually signing the card itself. So that's on card auto is a big thing in the collector industry for cards.
So how would you know that?
It's pretty obvious, and if you're in describing it, or if you're in bidding on it, they will describe on card auto, so you know what you're bidding on. And it's like I said, you can tell it's either been signed on a sticker that's been transposed, or it's legitimately signed on the card.
How much shit do you possess, in an estimate? And you don't have to say if you don't want to, because I don't want anybody robbing your fucking house. But I mean, do you have a chunk of change under your belt, you feel like, with all your stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I did. So I guess one of the ones that I got some random hits from I have a couple Peyton Manning game worn jersey cuts. And what I did is there's this company that was doing a clearinghouse thing. And I got a box of cards. They just threw in stuff, box of cards for $50. And I got a bunch of really good cards that I valued out the box, and the box itself that I paid $50 for. If I sold everything at value, would have been worth $630 if I just sold it all. So good use of 50. But like I was saying, excuse me, in the last episode, most of it's stuff that I buy stuff that I would like I buy my favorite teams, but I buy what I consider to be higher assets, basically star players. I don't just I like the Falcons, so I better go get an Algie Crumpler autographed card, because no one gives a shit about Algie Crumpler, right? So
you better get that Gay Lyman's autograph. Sorry,
I would say, yeah, I probably have. I mean, next time you're over, you can see. And I probably have a few $100s worth in cards currently in my possession in Omaha, in a safe, of course.
Yeah.
And you've always been a collector of baseball cards. You always looked at those when you were a kid and everything.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. Like I said, that was what we would. That was our reward for being good in church, is we would get a pack of baseball cards. So then I started doing that. Started trading with my friends and my brother's friends, and then you kind of back then you kind of grew out of it, and you started doing other things like getting into sports or getting into video games or whatever. And then it's just now kind of a weird for me it started as oh man, it'd be kind of cool, that'd be fun to see what it's like. And then the more I look into it, it's wow, people are making money from this, pretty serious money.
Yeah, baseball cards, yeah, they're on the rise.
So then I started diving into it a bit more. But yeah, I bid the weekly card auctions group on Facebook that I talk about. I bid on that probably a couple times a week, and sometimes I hit I got a Randy Johnson game used jersey card for $6 that's worth way more than that. So it's just
you ever sell them? Do you ever sell anything?
Not yet. I'm actually going to probably look to start selling some of the I got some really old cards, really, really old cards in that box, that $50 box that I bought. So I'm going to look to maybe put some of those on eBay. I did a box break. I think it was another $50 box break of an autographed football. And they just throw it in the box and you don't know what it is until it comes to your house. It ended up being some Redskins Hall of Famer that I don't give a shit about. So I'll probably put that up for sale too. a little bit because I just don't really I'm not interested in that. So yeah, it's a little bit of a hobby. It's a little bit more of like, I remember thinking it'd be so cool to have stuff like that when I was a little kid. And now it's kind of, I don't know, ties back to the childhood. And then it turns out it might actually be like a cool investment thing too.
Well, Mahoney, I know your birthday's coming up soon. When is it?
Oh, my birthday? It is, it's funny that you asked. So February 4th.
Well, Moose left 2 giant boxes of baseball cards here. So for your birthday, I'll give you Moose's cards because that fucker isn't coming back for him. And you could probably you would probably know more than any of us what they're worth and everything, but they're just in the closet over there collecting dust.
Somehow he's got 3 Honus Wagners in there.
He's right, man.
His family's family could retire, but he just hasn't opened the box.
It's funny though, you talk about baseball cards. So Mahomes, we have in my parents' garage, there's a couple boxes of baseball cards we got in the 90s, have not even looked at. You think we should look at those right now?
Yeah, I think it's probably a pretty good time to look at those. Yeah, for sure. Well, and there's stuff you read about like in these in some of the auction groups that I'm in. There's stuff like, yeah, so a lot of people have started doing like the bidding on storage stuff, but people would be like, yeah, so we lost my grandpa this year and we were cleaning out the attic and found like a Babe Ruth bat that was signed. I was like, oh, so that's worth more than the house that you are trying to sell for him now. Got it.
Isn't that funny though? That, like, speaking of time going faster and stuff, the older you get, the more you look around, you're just like, yeah, we got all this fucking shit that a lot of it's probably worth something. But the older you get, the less it matters to you, I think, because it's like, just give me my food, shelter, and beer, and I'm good, Seriously, though, like, there's probably under all of our roofs, or including our parents, there's probably somehow hundreds of thousands of dollars there. We're just like, oh, fuck it, I don't want to go through it.
No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
I wonder
what
how much
happens. You go through it and find $1 million worth of shit there, and then you give it to your shitty ass kids. That's how it works.
Yes, and then they sell it all when they're in college and just buy a bunch of like oxy and
bunch of weed.
buy a bunch of oxy and Molly and get super into like EDM music and piss away your money.
Yeah, no, I say fuck that shit. If you got something valuable, you better see it out, during your lifetime. Sell that shit off before.
No, I can't wait till one of my kids comes up and says, "Dad, do you know how valuable this is?" And I just blow a smoke load of weed in their face and take a sip of my beer. Cool.
I do. I'm waiting until you move out to sell it.
Go sell it and get your sex change.
So Mark,
that one felt personal.
So Mark,
let's out and get your sex change. Jesus.
So Mark, just a quick baseball question for you because I know you're into baseball.
I am into baseball.
So does it matter, like, if someone makes the Hall of Fame, would that increase the value of a certain like autograph or card?
Yeah, the Hall of Fame certainly helps, honestly, and this sounds terrible, but it's the truth. Anytime someone dies, the value of their cards skyrockets. Well, I don't care if Hank Aaron died like a couple years ago, or if it's someone who
I'm
dies
rich
tragically.
because I got a Bob Saget card.
I'm saying Kobe Bryant died, I believe, a year ago today. Was it
2 years ago?
2 years ago today.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
I was
Sorry,
in
2 years
Alaska when
ago.
it happened.
I didn't know they made helicopters back then. Damn,
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know.
all right, I got 1%, Pat.
Oh, that's why you're trying to see if you can get us banned from the internet? All right, let's round these horses before.
Let's round these horses up then. All right, Kelly, you got 1%. So let's round it up with starting with Kelly to round these horses.
Okay. Just quickly, I remember when I used to make jokes, Mahoney used to laugh. That's it. Maybe next year.
Kelly, I could hardly catch my breath when you went Groucho Marx. So I think we're still on the same page.
Yeah, but that was shallow.
All right, I'm gonna save that clip from earlier and put it as the promo for the show.
Please do, because I want to watch that when I'm having a bad day. Because that's funny.
Matt, your last words tonight.
I got an autographed Paul Chapman golf course jerk picture. What will that get me?
Turn
Might
that
be
into
worth
an
something
NFT.
one day, man.
Want to hold on to that?
Oh, good, because he just croaked, so we should be good.
Hey, Gil, I'm gonna turn the Comedy Night 2 video into an NFT. How much will that be worth?
Somehow you're going to have to pay the person that buys it.
Honestly, I might be the highest bidder, and I'd pay $20 for it.
Hey, just turn the
I'll
golf
pay
course.
21 just so no one can ever see it.
Hey, how much would a Comedy Night 1 tape be worth, though?
Oh, that's
How cool would that be?
the origin story.
If for some reason some prick wouldn't give it to me and I had to pay for it.
He's gone.
He's done.
He's
We
done.
lost him.
I would take the Paul Chapman golf course jerk skit, turn into an NFT, and sell it out there.
Man, that skit had such potential too.
When lines dropped, it was like that was the first time I've been on stage, and I had no idea what to do because the lines are so off. God. So Mahomes, your final statement for the night.
I mean, this was I'm not even sure how you're going to describe this episode. We touched on a lot of different things, long, winding, interesting. I think I'll just go out with just Groucho Marx and NFTs. What more could you want out of an episode?
Yep. What do you want? And watch. I'm going to tell you right now. Watch for that video I'm going to drop here in the next couple of days. You're gonna shit your pants watching.
I can't wait.
It's going to be crazy. Be fucking crazy. Anyways, folks, that is the episode here tonight. We had a great talk about a lot of different things. NFTs were a lot of fun. Metaverse, more fun. I want to get back into talking about Metaverse stuff in the next episode. I don't know what we're going to talk about next episode. Actually, what I want to go back to is actually talking. I want to do an episode on dating and relationships again, because that is just the funnest fucking material alive. Anyways, everyone have a great rest of, it's 26. So have a great rest of your January, folks. And we'll be back on here in February to set some more records for the Prison City podcast.